Carolina win, particularly in the last half. They managed to hang in that game and have a shot because of their defense.
Well, you talk about that series and the rivalry, and it affects you one game prior to that game and one game after the game. And it took them a half against Maryland to really get things going.
And I thought it did the same to North Carolina in the game with Virginia. Took them about 20 minutes to get their legs underneath them, and then they took off. Had a brilliant performance in the second half against Miami last night. Utilizing some clock, shot clock under 10 for the first time, and that's a walk by Brown. Tough break. 6 turnovers now committed by State. He just slipped as he picked up his dribble. The good news about that is there have been very few points off those turnovers.
Well, that's the thing, only 2, and that's it's where you can have live ball turnovers or dead ball turnovers. That one you get a chance to come back and set your defense up, but they have not given away points.
Rivers on the dribble drive. Got tripped on his way to the rack. And it's Scott Wood that gets the foul, his first. I think the major concern right now for North Carolina State would be that they can get through the next 39 seconds without anyone on their front court picking up another foul. Thomas Datay, the freshman, has come into the game for the first time simply because he's got fouls to give.
And you can bet that Duke's halftime talk is going to be focused on defense. NC State has come in here and has felt very comfortable in this building so far.
They're checking the clock to make sure.
Probably another 2 seconds should be added on.
Yeah, that's about it.
Here's when the whistle. Whistle is at 40.5, it looked like.
So maybe a second and a half should be added.
As we talked about, a lot of times in end game or end clock situations, they'll give Rivers that little brush screen up top and let him operate.
Mike, with a team that depends as much on the perimeter shot as this Duke team does, and you just heard Les Jones say 40.5, which is exactly what you mentioned. At halftime, what's your approach in terms of dealing with these guys? I don't know of a coach that psychologically understands today's player any better than Coach K.
Well, again, I think it starts on the defensive end from this team. They've got to do a better job of getting NC State out of their rhythm. And they've had guys come in. Alex Johnson has been terrific off the bench with 11 points. So you can't, it's very tough to come into this building and shoot over 50%, and especially 55% from 3.
Rivers now with 3 points. He has struggled in this first half offensively. Dawkins enters the game for him. Rivers does have the 2 fouls, and they want to protect him. Speaking of Johnson, here he is holding it. There's a 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Brown, backdoor cut, off the feet from Painter. That's the block. Could be an old-fashioned 3-point play.
All right, that was nice pressure release, and you can get the back door against Duke. That spread out. That was a nice play by Painter.
I think they got him caught leaning in. Just a dominant first half by NC State. No question. Krzyzewski wants a timeout. Well, they've had some issues here at Cameron Indoor Stadium, Mike. You cannot escape it. It's rare when 2 teams have come into Cameron and have left with a win, but the teams from Florida have done that. Everyone remembers Loucks to Snare. a three-pointer to win it at the buzzer, and then a couple of weeks later, Reggie Johnson frankly came in and just manhandled the Duke front line with 27 to beat the Blue Devils in overtime. He was flexing his muscles en route to that 78-74 overtime win. They also missed in that overtime 6 free throws. It's rare when that happens.
Right, it's it's been a while since they've lost 2 home games, and not in recent memory has it been 3.
Yeah.
And in Miami game, kind of a similar recipe here. They were very sluggish in the first half, fought their way back into it, but Reggie Johnson just too much in that game.
At one point in 67 games during the K era, it was 65-2 at home. But every season is different, and if you look at the makeup of this team, and from the beginning of the season to now, if you had said that you would be this deep into the year and they would be atop the conference, tied for the lead, and at 21-4 overall, you would probably say you'd take it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
If you were doing.
Well, that's what, I think with this program that, when Mike Krzyzewski wins 25 games, everybody says, what's wrong? When he wins 35, it's okay.
Mark Gottfried got asked that question this week.
And he goes, what's wrong with Duke? Nothing's wrong with Duke. They're 4th in the country.
Expectations a little different here in places like Chapel Hill and Lexington. Curry with the clock winding down. North Carolina State with a dominant first 20 minutes. And how about the play of Alex Johnson?
NC State.
Yeah, that's true. No doubt about that. He lit them up when he came into the game. Curry needs to line up for Duke. He's got 8 after that triple.
Well, and it's a good sign, too. You wonder over the course of halftime about that ankle tightening up that he had addressed in the first half. But come out, nice offense early on for him. Good lift on his shot.
Leslie being checked by Mason Plumlee. Shot clock down to 6. Howell using his strength. High arching off the glass, not there. Mason Plumlee collects the rebound.
That's the end of the floor where it has to start for Duke. Coming back in, getting stopped.
Rivers looking for his first 3. Not there. Plumlee fighting for it. Last touch by Wood. Duke will have it underneath their own hoop, and Mark Gottfried saying, how did Plumlee manage to get over his back with no whistle? Plumlee working on Howell. The jump hook not there. Howell tapped it up, but it was controlled by Duke, and now Howell gets the, oh, by the way, 3rd foul. Reaching in with a loose ball. This is the worst nightmare Mark Gottfried could have ever dreamt of having at halftime.
Your 2 most important or most improved players, Howell now with 3, Williams on the bench with 4. And he's going to be forced to come in or try to come in with Deshaun Painter, and he will not be able to get in this possession.
Well, Howell can't guard anyone at this stage. And Duke's got to know that. 10 in the game for Seth Curry. Offensive foul, it'll go the other way.
All right, Duke amping it up on the defensive end of the floor, and here's what we talked about with NC State about poise right now. The crowd fully engaged.
Wood with the moving pick, his second. Painter on the floor now, joining Johnson, Leslie, Wood, and Lorenzo Brown. Curry again off the front iron this time. Wood brings it down.
Wood fell down, and that's as open a look as Seth Curry's going to get.
Another steal. Wood picks up another foul reaching in. And that's his 3rd.
Oh, they're going to call it. They're going to reverse the call it on Tyler Thornton.
Oh, wow, that is big. If Wood had picked up his 3rd, I think Gottfried would have completely lost it. But they did reverse the call. It is Tyler Thornton that gets the foul.
Call it on the hole right there.
Yeah.
That Wood cut him off.
And I think it was a nice piece of officiating, too. Eads coming over to help out Les Jones. Wood on the wing. Thornton was in his face, and he turned it into a pass. And there's a block committed by Thornton. And he's very upset about that. You better watch out.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the coaches can have a reaction like that, but the players cannot, especially on your home court. The thing the referees hate more than anything is to have the home crowd brought down on them. And here's a look, and I don't think you're going to get that call. At best, it's a no call.
Yeah, but that reaction, that was close to being a tee, which counts as a personal foul in college basketball. Wood, tough shot. Doesn't get the roll. And Leslie reaching in. That's 3 on him. Well, you hear this often by coaches. We would prefer a loose whistle. Right now, Godfrey's not getting it. Rivers, count the basket. Goaltend on Leslie.
First basket of the game for Austin Rivers. He scored, but gotten them all at the free throw line.
Biorhythm's all with the Blue Devils right now.
Well, it's in the energy that they brought to the defensive end of the floor that's gotten them amped up.
7-0 run for Duke. Just past the 3-minute mark of the second half. And a foul committed by Hairston off the ball. It is a very tightly officiated game.
I think that the referee is trying to get this one reined in here.
Yep. And by the way, they have game plans too. Yep. There you see the foul difficulty. Williams with the 4 and Leslie and Howell each with 3. And Wood almost picked up a third a moment ago. It's gotten a little chippy evidently because Eads is having a conversation with Painter and Hairston right now. There are 3 teams out there. The officiating crew always has a game plan themselves. And you're right, they've decided that they need to rein this in.
Duke in all-out denial right now at every position, forcing NC State. Look where they have to initiate their offense, all the way out at half court.
You would think with the quickness on the wings that NC State has, they would be able to penetrate. And that's a foul. And it'll go against Kelly. That's his second. And a reminder, don't forget, this weekend, you'll get Florida State, North Carolina State from the RBC Center, or Maryland, Virginia from Charlottesville, that beautiful arena in the John Paul Jones Arena at UVA.
Both teams headed to an early penalty situation right now, Tim, both with 4 personal fouls.
Leslie, a leaner, not there. Painter looking to follow. Kelly gets his third.
That opens up for Painter. Kelly having to come over to help out that time on the drive and allowed him to get to the front of the glass. And it did look like Kelly was straight up in the air, but getting the body on the foul.
Deshaun Painter from Norfolk, Virginia, knocks down the first free throw.
Big minutes for him with Richard Howell out of the game with foul trouble.
Painter was sick this past week. He only played 12 minutes in the game with Georgia Tech. North Carolina State did have quite a bit of time off. No game this past weekend to prepare for this onslaught of 3 games in 5 days that they have in front of them.
And the coaching staff liked it. They felt like they got some rest and got away from the game a little bit, maybe come back refreshed mentally and physically.
Hook shot won't fall. Long rebound to Leslie. He's got a handle. End to end he goes, but cannot convert. Plumlee clears it to Seth Curry. Hairston. He throws up an air ball, and it's run down by Lorenzo Brown. You gotta like his motor. Pretty good read to Leslie, and the blow by.
Well, that's where Lorenzo Brown